I'm Agent Thomas Elber, the U.S. Crypto Cop. Now, I've been chasing bad guys for more than 37 years, and I'm still a working law enforcement officer. And I'd like to tell you about something that happened to me a couple of days ago. I was sitting at my desk catching up on LinkedIn before diving into my day and reading through some comments on one of my posts. Most of them are what you'd expect. Some people agreed with me, some didn't. Then one comment stopped me. It wasn't from someone hiding behind an anonymous profile. It came from a senior executive in the banking industry. And he wrote, "Crypto is a tool for fraudsters. It needs to be banned." Now, I leaned back in my chair for a minute, not because I was offended, but because I understood why he felt that way. If your job's protecting people from financial crime, and day after day you watch victims lose their retirement savings, their college funds, and sometimes everything they've worked their whole lives for, it's easy to start blaming the tool the criminals are using. As I sat there thinking about his comment, my mind drifted back over nearly 4 decades in law enforcement. When I first pinned on the badge, nobody had ever heard of Bitcoin. Heck, most people didn't even own a computer. Back then, one of the biggest problems we dealt with was Western Union fraud. Victims would wire hundreds of dollars to complete strangers because they believed they were helping a family member, claiming a prize, or solving some emergency. By the time they realized it was a scam, their money was gone. I don't remember anybody saying we should ban Western Union. Instead, we learned. Banks got better at spotting suspicious activity. Employees were trained to recognize red flags. Investigators adapted. We educated the public because that's what we've always done. Years later, email became the next tool criminals exploited. Then social media. Now it's cryptocurrency. Technology keeps changing. The criminals don't. And that's when something really hit me. In more than 37 years of chasing bad guys, I've never seen a criminal invent a technology. Not once. They don't invent, they exploit. They wait for honest people to create something useful. And then they figure out how to exploit it. That's exactly what's happening with cryptocurrency. Now, don't misunderstand me. Criminals absolutely use cryptocurrency. I investigate those cases every single day. I've sat across the table from retirees who have lost their life savings. I've talked to families who have watched years of hard work disappear in a matter of minutes. Those conversations never get easier. But here's something else I've learned. Most of those victims weren't cryptocurrency investors. Many of them had never even heard the words crypto kiosk until a scammer convinced them they needed to put money in one. They didn't become victims because they believed in cryptocurrency. They became victims because they didn't understand how the scammers were using it. There's a big difference. Some people ask me why I spend so much time teaching people about cryptocurrency. The answer is simple. I'm not trying to convince anyone to buy Bitcoin. I honestly don't care if you never own a single dollar's worth of cryptocurrency. What I care about is making sure you recognize the scam before someone steals your life savings. Here's what history's taught me. The next technology is already on the horizon. Maybe it's artificial intelligence. Maybe it's quantum computing. Heck, maybe it's something none of us have ever even heard of yet. Whatever it is, the criminals will exploit it, just like they always have. But here's the good news. We will adapt. Law enforcement will adapt. Banks will adapt. Technology companies will adapt. And the public can adapt too, if we're willing to keep learning. So when I think back to that LinkedIn comment, crypto is a tool for fraudsters, it needs to be banned, I don't think banning technology is the answer. I think education is. I think stronger partnerships between banks, crypto companies, and law enforcement are. I think giving people the knowledge to recognize a scam before they become a victim is. Because nearly 4 decades of chasing bad guys, I've learned that criminals rarely create anything. They're opportunists. They simply wait for honest people to build something useful, and then they look for ways to exploit it. Our job isn't to stop innovation. Our job is to stay one step ahead of those who would exploit it. Scammers are organized. They share techniques. They learn from one another every single day. The good news is, so do we. Every time someone shares a video like this, talks to a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, or a friend about a scam, we're building a community that's harder to fool. That's how we stay ahead of these bandits. If you think you've been the victim of a scam, visit uscryptocop.com and download my free victims checklist. I'll walk you through the steps you should take next. And if you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate if you'd click like and subscribe button. Share it with someone you care about. You don't have to wear a badge to protect someone. Sometimes all it takes is sharing the right information at the right time. I'm Agent Thomas Alber, the U.S. Crypto Cop. Stay alert, stay informed, and always remember to pause, verify, then act. Because together, we'll make it a whole lot harder for those bandits to find their next victim.